Welcome back to the channel. This is your boy Raynell Jamal, and this is episode 2 of Drake versus Kendrick Lamar retrospective reactions. So, for those of you who are here for the first time, please check out episode 1. And what this series is about me give you a retrospective reaction to the battle on the 1 year anniversary of the song's releases. So the last video, we were celebrating the 1 year anniversary of Like That being dropped and Kendrick Lamar kicking this whole thing off. Now we're going to react to the 1 year anniversary of 7 Minute Drill. This is J. Cole's response to Kendrick Lamar's Like That verse. So before Like That dropped, J. Cole was already in the middle of promoting his upcoming mixtape, which was Might Delete Later. So I believe at the end of February, he dropped a vlog series called Might Delete Later. So none of us really know what was happening. We just knew that he was making music. And I believe one of the songs on the mixtape, which was called Crocodile Tears, I'm looking down at my notes, was kind of premiered in the episode, and everybody was hyped like, oh, J. Cole was spitting. J. Cole is a spitter. So, he's been on this 4-year run of basically letting it be known that nobody can mess with him. He's the dopest. He's been killing every feature. And he just putting out verses, letting people know that he's the one. He went into rap sensei mode. That's what I like to call it, rap sensei mode. Nobody can mess with him, right? So then maybe a week or two before Like That drops, he drops the second vlog in the Might Delete Later series promoting the album. So now we know that the mixtape is coming. So after Like That drops, the mixtape drops. So as this mixtape is out there, I'm listening to it. It released on Thursday night, April 4th, right? I'm listening to it and I'm like, man, J. Cole is spazzing on this. Like, he is going crazy. He's rapping at a high level. It's just sounding like incredible. He's doing his thing. So then I jump on X because I wanted to see what people's reaction was to the mixtape. Because when I heard Pie in his verse, I was just like, woo, okay. Okay, Cole. He had some joints in there that I really liked. You know what I mean? Just on some rapping. And I was just like, okay, this is just him spitting. This mixtape is just about him just getting bars off. I enjoyed it, so I get on X and I see everybody talking about a song called 7 Minute Drill. And now I'm kind of confused. I was like, what's going on? Like, because I'm not all the way down there, I'm just listening to it. So I'm not at like the last song yet. So and then one of the homies hit up the group chat and was like, yo, Cole, he going in on Kendrick on 7 Minute Drill. He responded. I'm tripping now. Then on X, I'm seeing everybody talking about, oh, Kendrick better not respond to him. Yeah, Kendrick don't want this smoke. Cole been out here for a while. Kendrick been away. He ain't been outside. He ain't on Cole level now. Cole done caught up to Kendrick. And I'm like, now I'm shocked by this because like I told you, my mindset was J. Cole shouldn't respond to this. Him and Kendrick is close. I think that a phone call is going to be made and he's probably not going to respond to this. I'm really shocked that he put out a response. So immediately, I go down to the end of the track list and I listen to 7 Minute Drill. So let's listen to it now, and I'm going to give you my retrospective reaction and thoughts. All right, so let's get into it.
Turn it up. Yeah, turn the vocal up.
Already, I'm going to be honest with you, the beat didn't grab me. The beat didn't grab me. In my mind, I was like, okay, let's see what he's talking about because the beat really ain't hitting for me. So I'm still giving him a chance.
Light work, like it's PWC. It's a cold world. Keep the heat under your seat. I got a phone call. They say that somebody dissing. You want some attention? It come with extensions. My dog like say the word. He on bullshit. He itching.
Now, by the time I'm looking at this, my group chats is blowing up. All of my group chats and homies not in group chats is hitting me up. My DMs is blowing up because everybody in the circle know I'm an MC. I rap. In my friend group, I have a valued opinion when it comes to rap music because I'm gonna give you my honest thought whether I like it or not. So People was hitting me up like crazy, and I'm stopping. I'm responding, yo. I'm listening to it now. I can't believe he responded. That's why I kept replying back, yo. I can't believe he responded. This is crazy. I'm listening to it now. I'm gonna tell y'all what I think as soon as I'm done.
Putting so much work in these streets, he got pension. I told him chill out. How I look having henchmen. If shots get to popping, I'm the one doing the clinching. I came up in the Ville, so I'm good when it's tension. He still doing shows, but fell off like the Simpsons. Yo,
already he started losing me. I'm not gonna lie to you, J. Cole was losing me when he started talking like that. Fell off like the He's already doing shows, but he fell off like the Simpsons, and it's like, Cole, you know better than that. What? He just had the highest grossing rap tour for a single artist. I was already looking like, okay, now you just reaching. Now it's sounding like you rapping to be rapping. Okay. Okay, so let's continue.
First shit was classic, your last shit was tragic. Your second shit put niggas to sleep, but they gassed it. Yo.
And then when I heard that, I definitely was like, okay, now you lying. Now you lying. Like, huh? Arguably, Kendrick Lamar has 3 classic albums. I think he has 3 classic albums. And we're talking about major label debuts. Good Kid, Mad City, To Pimp a Butterfly, and Damn. I remember the cultural impact those 3 albums had when they dropped. Like I told you in the last video, I remember when people was hating on To Pimp a Butterfly because they expected Kendrick to give you a Good Kid, Mad City. But as time went on within that year and the songs start to come out, the concepts start to sink in into the culture. He started performing with the live band, giving you legendary performances at the Grammys, the Colbert Show. He's going on tour doing these things. It's hitting real musicians, is now speaking like, yo, this is like basically a jazz album. To me, when I listen to that To Pimp a Butterfly album, to me, it's a musical embodiment of a Spike Lee joint. It's like listening to Do the Right Thing, X, you know what I mean? And a Boys in the Hood. You know, it's like if those all was wrapped into one. It was like it's like that album was literally directed by Spike Lee. It's an amazing body of work. But then he gave us Damn. And what made Damn so special, which is the album that he won a Pulitzer for. I know a lot of times people speak about To Pimp a Butterfly like he won his Pulitzer for that album. But he won a Pulitzer Prize for Damn, which was up until GNX, his most commercial sounding album as far as hit making. Humble, DNA, Loyalty. I mean, he outsold Nothing Was the Same when that album dropped. Successful tour. Won 5 Grammys that year. And he won a Pulitzer. And then, when Mr. Morale dropped, basically the same type of impact. And people say it makes it seem like that album was trash. But now it's aging beautifully. I remember listening to that album with my wife. And my wife was like, what did you think about that album? I said, this album is going to take time for people to catch up to because of the topics and the subject matters and the ideas he was presenting in this album is really heavy. And people have to be ready to listen to this type of music. It's not something that you could just casually put on and mindlessly listen to. That was probably Kendrick's most important album, which is Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, is what I'm talking about. And his most thought-provoking album, his most heavy, meaty album as far as topics and emotional weight that he was able to display on that album. He talked about a lot of heavy things, but it's a very therapeutic album. And he's going through a spiritual transformation because he's dealing with a lot of the traumas that he dealt with. And if you watch Kendrick Lamar's albums, it's like he's telling a complete story of his rise to fame and how it affected not only him, but the world around him, his friends, family, and even his relationship with Whitney. So he's giving you in real time his journey. And in the album, he's basically letting you know that he's not willing to allow being famous to cost him his family. So he's willing to deal with the issues he had within that was causing him to be a sex addict, causing him to mistreat his woman and not respect his relationship. He realized I can't be a hero to everybody because he took on that responsibility for the culture. And he realized I can't be a hero to the culture, but be a villain in my own household. That's basically what he's saying. So for Cole to say this, it just really lost me.
Third shit was massive, and that was your prime. I was trailing right behind, and I just now hit mine. Now I'm front of the line with a comfortable lead. How ironic, as soon as I got it, now he wants something with me. Well,
So I'm gonna be honest with you, I was not really feeling this. It's sounding dry to me. It doesn't sound like he wants to do it. I don't feel any type of fire from it, no type of sting or pop from the punch. I'm just like, dog, you know better than this. Why are you taking this angle? You could have literally just come off with a song just saying I'm better than you like you've done before with the other stuff and just make it a little bit more direct. But now you're trying to take shots at his discography when we know his discography is better than your discography. Nah.
caught me at the perfect time. Jump up and see why I got here off of bars, not no controversy. Funny thing about it, bitch, I don't even want the prestige. Fuck the Grammys, cause them crackers ain't never done nothing for me.
And now this leads me to a point that I've always said about people who take that angle about you don't want prestige, forget the Grammys. Now, if you pay attention to last year's Grammys, um, Kendrick GNX album will be nominated for next year. But Like That and Not Like Us was nominated for this year because it fall into the window of submissions. Now, for those who don't know, in order for you to be considered and nominated for a Grammy, you have to submit your work to be nominated. J. Cole he owns Dreamville, right? So that means you have to submit your work. J. Cole was nominated for Best Rap Album and for a song. So you're going to tell me you don't care about the Grammys, but yet you still submit your work. I don't like when artists play that game. Drake does it. Nicki Minaj does it. Oh, I don't care about what these people say. That's why I don't care about them. We don't need their approval, but yet you keep submitting your work. Just be honest. You care about it because that's the only award show that you're being judged on and voted on by your peers. So you care what your peers say. You care what the music community say. And it's okay to say that. But don't say you don't care about what those crackers have to say, but yet you keep submitting your work. So, like I said, J. Cole was the angle he was taking, he was losing me because it felt lazy, in my personal opinion.
Ho, slugs took my nigga soul. Drugs took another one. A rap beef ain't realer than the shit I seen in Cumberland. He averaging one hard burst like every 30 months or something. If he wasn't dissing, then we wouldn't be discussing. Lord, don't make me.
Oh man, I didn't like this. I didn't like it. Like I said, I just was like, nah, Cole, nah. You could have kept this in the hard drive, my boy. My boy, this was not the angle to take. Now you just made yourself very vulnerable. You left yourself wide open. It's like when somebody take a punch, but they overswing it and they leave their ribs and the whole right side of their body just all open. And a seasoned boxer is going to just kill that body. That's what he did with this. This felt just not it at all. Like this part right here, I just was like, this is mid. This was a mid diss record up to this point to me.
have to smoke this nigga cause I fuck with him. But push come to shove on this mic, I will humble him. I'm Nino with this thing, this that New Jack City mean. Yeah, I'm aiming at G-Money, crying tears before I busted him. Light work, like it's PWC, it's a cold world. Keep the heat under your seat, I got a phone call, they say that's...
Now, as I'm online looking at the reaction, people was gassing this. I'm telling you, the J. Cole fans was going crazy. Because we wanted J. Cole to prove that everything he's been saying on the last 4 to 5 years of him being the best rapper and nobody's out rapping him. He didn't call it up to Kendrick, as he said on this record. He already said it in first person shooter, that's just him and Drake now. We was like, man, now it's time to prove it. It's time to show us what you've been talking about. You got that energy now. You feeling like you a big dog that you should be up there with, Kendrick and Drake now. Time to prove it. Lyrically, you've been a beast. His growth as an MC is well documented and it should be celebrated. So I'm not going to sit here and act like J. Cole is a slouch. He is definitely not a slouch. But now, when it comes to being a battle MC, that's a different lane and you're going to have to prove it. So people was hyping this. I think his fans was just really excited and they took for granted the silence of Kendrick Lamar. They took it for granted. And they start to think, and this is where I was saying we're going to get to how people before Euphoria dropped was talking crazy about Kendrick Lamar. Now he dropped this verse and everybody wanted to start discussing the discography. I'm sorry. J. Cole hasn't dropped anything on the level of a To Pimp a Butterfly. He hasn't dropped anything on the level of a Good Kid, Mad City. He hasn't dropped anything on the level of a Damn. To me, this is my personal opinion. I love 2014 Forest Hills Drive. I own that on vinyl. I thought Born Center was a great album. I didn't like For Your Eyes Only. I thought that was a boring album. Everything after that, can you honestly tell me, has he dropped any really impactful, memorable albums after those three? Those are the ones that we talk about the most, right? His debut album, we don't really talk about that with J. Cole. I do know I thought he was rapping his butt off on Might Delete Later, the project before this one with the Cameron intro. I thought he was rapping his butt off, but to me, and this is just my personal opinion, and I know the Cole fans and the Dreamville stands is going to jump in my comments and probably thumbs down the video because I realize that's your guy and it's a cult following. I'm not taking anything away from Cole's pen or his rapping ability, but I feel like his music don't really stick like that. It don't stick the way Drake and Kendrick's music stick. And Kendrick's takes hiatuses in between albums. Cole is a little bit more present because he's been doing the feature runs and all of this stuff, dropping songs for his fan base. I love what Cole do with that. He makes sure to feed his fan base. But does it really stick? I don't think so. So people was gassing this a lot. And as I'm listening to it so far, I just wasn't understanding the hype around it. I think people was a little bit more excited at the fact that he responded to Kendrick other than was it a quality diss song? And to me, to this point, it wasn't.
Somebody dissing, you want some attention, it come with extensions. My dog like say the word, he on bullshit, he itching. I'm putting so much work in these streets, he got pension. I told him chill out, how I look having henchmen. If shots get to popping, I'm the one doing the conductor.
Now, when I heard this beat, I was like, oh, okay, maybe that was just to lull him away. He trying to rope-a-dope the dude. That's what I was thinking. He about to go crazy over this beat. This seemed like something that's about to get some damage done. You know what I mean? So I was like, ooh, okay, this beat switch, yes, this is what I want to hear, Cole. Let's see what you got to say.
I got mixed feelings about these fucking rap niggas. It's over for that cap, the official cap pillars 2-6. We don't act niggas, we get at niggas. Shoot a nigga lights out. Yeah, my dog, stat fillers, stat stuffers, triple double, get your ass black duffel. Body bag, cold world.
I'm not gonna lie, that's hard. I thought that was hard. I was like, okay, Okay, you got the body bag zipping up. Okay, let's see. Okay, I see you revving up right now. Now you about to get busy. Okay, let's see what you got.
Your instructor for Pilates class, get a nigga stretched if I feel a disrespect. Your arms might be too short to box with the God who live his life without the pressures of a constant facade. I pray for peace, but if a nigga sees these positive vibes, a Falcon 9 inside my pocket, bitch, this rocket gon' fly. Now it's popping outside like the top of July. My text flooded with the hunger for a toxic reply. I'm hesitant, I love my brother, but I'm not gonna lie. I'm powered up for real, that shit would feel like swatting a fly. 4 albums in 12.
Okay, that whole part was hard to me. I at the time listening to that, I was like, dang, why he didn't make the whole joint like this? He should have just started off like that and just go on. Like that whole first half that he gave us, that 75% of the song, delete, cut, drop, extend the beat out, and let's record from there. The other part, we could just go ahead and just delete that because, yeah, it might delete later. Let's go ahead and just delete that and don't come back to it later. Just leave it be. Let's start from here.
12 years, nigga, I can divide. Shit, if this is what you want, I'm indulging in violence.
Now, the full album, I Could Divide, he giving you that Jay-Z approach to when he was coming at Nas on Takeover. Again, I don't like that angle from J. Cole. Now, if it was anybody else doing that, like if it was Drake doing that or whatever, I could be like, okay, because, in the eye of the casual hip hop fan, they think everything Drake dropped is a classic, and his sales will prove that in their perspective of it. But for J. Cole to do that when he has a reputation of dropping boring albums, it's just like, I don't think this is a good angle to take on Kendrick Lamar, not from you. I don't think you should be doing that, Cole.
Put pictures in my home, aim the chrome at your eyelids. Fly pebbles at your dome, we the Stone Temple pilots. This is merely a warning shot, the back niggas down. Back in the town where they whipping, working, traffic in pounds. My jack jumping bout a rapper, making blasphemous sounds. Switching sides like the tassel on the cap and a gown. I'm fully loaded, nigga, I can drop 2 classics right now. Let me chill out, man.
Conductor.
Fall off on the way, nigga.
All right, so there you go. It's nothing for me to rewind back on this song because I felt this was a mid-diss record. I know it was a jab. But like that verse alone was better than this output, in my opinion. You could disagree. But for me, this wasn't it, and it wasn't gonna get it done. So the crazy part about this is I had a lot of homies hitting me up asking me what I thought, and I said it was mid. That's what I kept responding back. This is mid. They was like, what? My homie Chris, who was a big J. Cole fan, was like, what? Oh, I thought this was hard. I thought he was killing. I was like, this ain't enough, not for Kendrick. No. Now I remember I responded to everybody in the group chats or people that text me about it, this DMs. How was J. Cole the one to talk about anybody's discography? Like, really? Kendrick is known for dropping great bodies of work, pushing the envelope in artistic expression when it comes to rap music like we've never seen before. He's in the talks of having a discography that can hang with Kanye West, creative bodies of work that really do shift culture. Is J. Cole in that category? No, he's not. Wrong person to take that angle. It's just, I didn't like this. I was disappointed in J. Cole for even doing this. And it confirmed my thoughts after listening to like that. Drake had to respond and J. Cole shouldn't respond. And this is the reason why I felt like that. This angle was just not it. So the crazy part about this, all this is taking place. The internet is ablaze for a few days. So as this is happening, Dreamville Fest is coming up. So everybody's anticipating what could happen at Dreamville Fest. Is J. Cole gonna be bold enough to put Kendrick Lamar on that Summer Jam screen, right? You gonna perform this live? Could it be that him and Drake perform first person shooter together? That's what we was looking forward to hearing, right? So instead of that happening, this happened.
Nah, I gotta get these off. I gotta get these off. So look, I wanna do this song right now for y'all. I wanna do this song. Let me grab this motherfucker. I wanna do this song for y'all right now. But before I do it, I just wanna talk to y'all for a second. This song right here is probably my favorite shit I ever did. But I wanna tell y'all a story behind this song that I just have not told before. And I wanna tell y'all this right now. When I made this song right here,
Oh man. Y'all was doing too much too soon. I just want y'all to pay attention to what's happening here. Again, my thought after like that, Drake should respond. J. Cole shouldn't respond. My thought after 7 Minute Drill was this ain't it. You could have kept this. This angle you're taking is whack. It doesn't hold up, and it's going to cause this angle is going to cause people to pay attention to your discography and compare it to Kendrick's discography, and it's not going to hold up, and that could backfire on you. That was my initial thoughts. And then I saw this.
prior to this song and the making of this album right here, I was in a cloudy, like dark place, right? Meaning like I was doing shit, I had talent, I had belief in myself, I had motion, but at the same time I also had fear. I had fear that maybe I wouldn't get to where I wanted to go. And so that fear had me moving in an unusual way, right? It had me moving in a way that I damn near was thinking about and listening to people's expectations of me and then responding off of that, right?
See what y'all fans did to that man? Y'all gassed him. Gassed him up.
And around the time I made this song, I had just more of a spiritual alignment. I got more in tune with God, like for the first time in my life and the most clearest time in my life, I got in tune. And it was not a switch. It's not just a switch that I clicked, but it did take work. And a song like this is the result of that work. Only because I was so clear when I was making this song and making this album was I able to do this. Now, why am I saying all of that? Because all of the goofy type shit that I look back on that I was doing before that, luckily, I look at the last 10 years of my life and I go, damn, like, my life been peaceful, my life been blessed, I've been happy, I've been moving on my own accord, off my own desires, my own wants. Now, why am I saying all of that? All of that shit led me up into this point, 10 years later after this song, I'm here I am. I've been just chasing my...
Now, when this happened, I remember going online and I'm seeing everybody post this clip, that what he's about to say now, and people are just disappointed, mad. I mean, they basically outcasted J. Cole. And I was like, you should have never responded because you knew 98% of like that was for Drake. See, you put yourself in a bad spot because you let the fans gas you up to do something that you know you shouldn't have never done. And for those who even listen to music, know about tonality, emotion, and everything that artists put into the song, you could hear that he just wasn't believing what he was saying when he was rapping that verse or making that song. He didn't believe it. But yet y'all was online thinking that he was going to be able to beat Kendrick Lamar and take him down because he'd been on a 4-year feature run and he was dropping dope verses claiming he was the rap sensei. Y'all had to learn the hard way that the boogeyman was coming. The boogeyman was coming and the word was getting out that he is upset and he is not playing with nobody. Once J. Cole got that word, and they say that Schoolboy Q was the one who kind of put the bird in his ear. Hey, Dot is gearing up and he's shooting. And he ain't gonna stop shooting until he catch a body. You might want to back down because if not, you're gonna be one of those bodies. So when that conversation was had, this is what he did.
My shit, you know what I mean? Like following my dream and just trying to like head to the fall off in the way that I wanted to do it. And so I put out this project on Friday called Might Delete Later. I don't know how many people done checked it out or whatever, but I put this project out. And I swear to God, I'm so proud of that project because I know one, it's just a lead up. It's just an EP that leads me up to this thing that I've been working on for a long time. And I know the work it took to get to a certain type of skill level, and I love this shit. So that shit mean a lot to me, right? So I'm so proud of that project.
And I'll be honest with you, he was rapping his butt off for Might Delete Later. And I hate that this happened to him because once he did what he's about to do now, it literally took all the steam out of the rollout and the way this project was released. It literally became an afterthought almost immediately. And again, this is why I had the opinion that J. Cole should have not responded.
Except for one part. It's one part of that shit that make me feel like, man, that's the lamest shit I ever did in my fucking life, right? And I know this is not what a lot of people want to hear. I know I can hear my niggas up there right now like, nah, don't do that. But I got to keep it 100 with y'all, right? I damn near had a relapse, right? Because y'all heard some shit that happened 3 weeks ago, however long it was. Y'all heard that bazooka that was dropped on the motherfucking game, right?
You hear that? The bazooka that was dropped. That means the impact of that verse shook up some things behind the scenes. And we've heard that once that verse dropped, literally everybody in the music industry paused, cleared out, and was like, nah, let them go. Don't drop no music, don't release nothing. I remember I was watching a podcast, I can't remember who it was, but they were an industry insider, and they said that once this got out, and that they heard that Drake was working on responding, that everybody in the industry, including music outside of hip hop, was like, yo, don't release nothing right now, because this is about to sweep the whole industry. Let's just wait and see. But y'all wanted J. Cole to respond. Man, y'all did that man dirty.
So all of this time of me moving on my own accord, for the first time I was tested. Why am I tested? Because I got the world and I got my niggas like, what you gonna do, Cole? My niggas like, boy, I must have had 1,000 missed calls. Oh my fucking God. Text flooded, I couldn't even answer my shit. Nigga, it's wartime, boom, 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 right? Niggas wanna see blood. And I was conflicted because one, I know my heart, you know what I mean? And like, I know how I feel about my peers, these two niggas that I just been blessed to even stand beside in this game, let alone chase their greatness, right?
You hear that? Like, come on, man. You knew this wasn't for you. That smoke wasn't for you. But y'all gassed him up, you know? And we're going to get into the reaction from the Cole fans after this apology, because y'all try to make it seem like Cole was taking a morally high standard. He was trying to be the bigger man. He's trying to change the narrative in hip hop. He wasn't. We're going to get into that after this.
So I felt conflicted because I'm like, bro, I know I don't really feel no way, but the world want to see blood.
You heard what he said? I knew I didn't feel no way. And you heard that in the delivery of when he was rapping that song. You can tell he didn't feel it. It was nothing there. It was no hostility. It was no competitive nature in it that he wanted to prove that he's better than Kendrick, because he knew more than anyone between Drake and Kendrick what was taking place when he jumped on first person shooter and what was about to take place after Like That dropped. Pay attention.
I don't know if y'all can feel that, but the world want to see blood. So I say all of that to say, in my spirit of trying to like get this music out, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I moved in a way that I feel spiritually feel bad on me. Like I try to like jab my nigga back and I try to keep it friendly, but at the end of the day, when I listen to it and when it comes out and I see the talk, that shit don't sit right with my spirit. That shit make me feel, that shit disrupts my fucking peace. So what I wanna say right here tonight is in the midst of me doing that and in that shit, trying to find a little angle and downplay this nigga's fucking catalog and his greatness, I want to say right now tonight, how many people think Kendrick Lamar is one of the greatest motherfuckers to ever touch a fucking microphone?
What was I saying? I just felt like those angles wasn't gonna cut it. It was just gonna, and it was already starting. Before he did this, people was already starting to be like, wait, hold on a second. You trying to talk about his discography, but let's look at yours though. Really? Oh, because you don't got many classics, my boy. And to be honest, a lot of people still think that 2014 Forest Hills Drive is a debatable classic. I think that's a classic album. I've come to grown to think that it's a classic album because that did make a major impact on his career and his place in hip hop. But this is the difference here. Kendrick Lamar has undeniable classics, and then J. Cole has cultural classics. That's the conversation we got to start having when it comes to the way people throw around the word classics. There's undeniable classics where you literally make an impact on the entire music industry from your category or genre, which Kendrick Lamar did with Good Kid, Mad City, definitely with To Pimp a Butterfly, and definitely with Damn. That means in the musical landscape, that thing was moving, been on the charts. Good Kid, Mad City, I think is the longest charting rap album of all time. It's still on the charts to this day. J. Cole has yet to do an album like that. As great as 2014 Hill Forest Drives is, it is not making a musical industry impact the way that Kendrick's album has. He has a cultural classic, but is it an undeniable classic? That's what the conversation was starting to lean to because he chose to take a bad angle.
Dreamville, y'all love Kendrick Lamar, correct? As do I. So I just want to come up here and be like, publicly be like, bruh, that was the lamest, like goofiest shit. And I say all that to say, it made me feel like 10 years ago when I was moving incorrectly. And I pray that God align me back up on my purpose and on my path. You know what I mean? I pray that my nigga really didn't feel no way. And if he did, my nigga, I got my chin out. Take your best shot, I'm gonna take that shit on the chin, boy. Do what you do. You know what I mean? Like, all good. Like, it's love. And I pray that, I pray that y'all are like, forgive a nigga for like the misstep and then I can get back to my true path. Cause I ain't gonna lie to y'all. The past 2 days felt terrible. Like, it let me know how good I've been sleeping for the past 10 years. So all of that to say, man, I wanna now perform the song that's a reminder to me of getting back on the right path and getting in tune with God. And the name of the song is called Love Yours. I wanna do that for y'all right now.
All right, so that's what happened. That's what happened after the release of 7 Minute Drill. J. Cole apologized to Kendrick Lamar for his diss record. This is a hip hop no-no. You don't do that. You don't do that. So like they said, the story is, and nobody has confirmed this, but they said that Schoolboy Q, who was performing at Dreamville, talked to J. Cole behind the scenes and let him know that Kendrick Lamar was coming. He was upset and he was coming for blood and he's trying to catch a body. And maybe you should back out of this and let him and Drake go at it because he is not playing around. Now, when shortly after this happened, Wayno, who used to be on the Complex show with academics that used to have Joe Button on there, a voice in hip hop media, um, he had some words for Dreamville. So he was on the Amazon Music staff at the time, covering Dreamville Fest because it's streamed on Amazon Music every year. He was saying that a lot of the Dreamville artists was dissing Kendrick Lamar, gassing up J. Cole to respond, and they were all talking about, well, what has he really done? He's been gone. And he was saying that he had lost a lot of respect for them Dreamville dudes because y'all didn't keep that same energy behind the scenes, and you gassed up J. Cole to do that. And Jack, now y'all want to, people want to diss J. Cole for apologizing, but it wasn't that the people wanted blood. It was your team and the people around you who wanted blood that gassed you up to do that. So at this point, 7 Minute Drill became irrelevant. Um, might delete later, although J. Cole was rapping at an elite level, really didn't get the respect it probably should have deserved if that song wasn't on there, because a lot of people only listened to it because the 7 Minute Drill was the last song on there. He didn't say that he was going to take the song off of the album, and he did. It stayed up there for a while, though. It wasn't immediately taken off, and I think he did that because they wanted to gain some traction with the streams and the sales. But it was a mid-diss record. I personally feel, in closing, and with my final thoughts, that J. Cole could have saved that. If he was going to respond, I wish he would have just responded with the whole beat of the conductor beat of the second half, put out his bars then. But ultimately, he shouldn't have responded. It was a mid-diss record. I did not like it. I hate the angle that he took. It was already starting to backfire on him. I do commend him for doing what he did. So I'm not going to say what he did was whack. You got to be true to yourself. But what I wanted to talk about before we close was the way the Dreamville stands and the J. Cole stands tried to frame this. They try to say, oh, he's a bigger person. He didn't want, it's his homie. He had to apologize. He's trying to change the narrative of hip hop. Everything doesn't have to be confrontational. No, you don't get full credit for that because you picked a beat. You picked a beat. You wrote the lyrics, you recorded it, you mixed it, and made sure it was on your album, and then you distributed it. And then kept it on there for a little bit longer after you said this, because I feel like he was trying to get the streams. It sounded like to me that J. Cole was kind of checking the temperature on the joint. It didn't get received all that well, and then he starts the second guess. And he said, okay, let me just pull back out of this. So we're not going to give him full credit and act like he was being the bigger person. He wasn't being the bigger person because he literally participated. He would have been the bigger person if he just made a speech and said like, hey, I'm not going to get involved in this. That's my dog. I didn't feel a type of way about that verse. I understand it as an MC. I get it. But that's my dude. He could have tweeted that out. He could have said it at his show, but he participated. So we're not going to give him full credit for being the bigger person when you did. And on top of that, with J. Cole, I saw you make a song and you basically critiquing Kendrick Lamar, you're critiquing Wale. You had a song where you dissed Diggy Simmons. You basically went at No Name. You critiqued and was trying to give advice to Lil Pump and all the little rappers. Like, dog, we're not gonna do that. The song was mid. It didn't do what it was supposed to do. It wasn't received well. The man apologized for it. That's it. But trying to make it seem like he took a moral big brother above all, I'm the bigger person stand, so he backed out. No. He knew it was for y'all wanted blood and it was finna get nasty between Drake and Kendrick. No. The song was mid and it wasn't received well. So man, look, thank y'all so much for this series. Thank y'all so much for the response. I've been getting good reviews about this series. I'm going to keep it going. This is episode 2 of Drake versus Kendrick Lamar retrospective reactions. So as we live here, J. Cole responded. He apologized. 7-minute drill was mid and it had mixed reviews. Might delete later was some of J. Cole's best rapping, but it pulled all the steam out of the project. And now everybody's wondering, is Drake going to respond? So I'll see you on the next episode of this series where we talk about Drake push-ups. Or should we talk about Rick Ross song? We'll see, man. Thank y'all so much. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe and share it as well. I'm going to see y'all on the next one. Peace.